Welcome to the Chop Seat, where Braves country meets the big leagues. Your host Vic is here to break down everything from truest part to the top of the standings across the league. From walk-offs to wild trades, this is your seat for everything baseball, but a heavy dose of chop. So grab your glove and settle in, because the Chop Seat is open.
Welcome to the Chop Seat, your favorite place for Braves, baseball, and the rest of the league. I'm your host, Vic, and today is Monday, September 8th. We're going to talk about another bad Braves series. I keep saying that every opening of an episode, that's the theme for this 2025 season when it comes to the Braves. So, again, another bad series. We're going to talk about that one briefly. We're not going to talk about it too much because it was pretty bad. We're going to catch up with the action from around the league in the MLB. We're going to take a look at the standings, see where your teams are currently. See where they are currently. We're going to see if there were any flip-flops between now and the last episode that we just had. There might have been a couple flip-flops, so we're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at how your teams did over the weekend. And then we're going to do the Braves forecast where we look at the upcoming Braves series. That's a new series that starts tonight. That's going to be against the Chicago Cubs. That's what we have in store for today's episode. So let's head into our first segment.
It's time for Tomahawk Takes.
It's time for Tomahawk Takes, where we take a look at the previous Braves series. And Tomahawk Takes is brought to you by SeatGeek. Use code CHOPC20, as you can see below. You're going to save yourself $20 off your first purchase on SeatGeek. NFL football is underway. You don't want to miss out on football games now. Hey, playoff baseball is going to be starting soon as well. So if you want to catch some playoff baseball, go to SeatGeek, use code CHOPC20. You're going to save yourself $20 off your first purchase. And if you already use your regular email, use your work email, man. Use your work email. You know you got burner accounts. Use the email for one of those burner accounts, and you're able to use the code again, CHOPC20. You're going to get $20 off your first purchase on SeatGeek. So let's look at the series that we just had. That was against the Seattle Mariners. Mariners came into town for 3. First game was on Friday. The Braves actually won this one, and this was the only game of the series that they won. Seattle Mariners take 2 out of 3. Game 1, it was Logan Gilbert on the mound for the Mariners. He goes 6 innings, 5 hits, 1 run. That was earned, 1 walk, 7 Ks. He now has a 3.61 ERA. Pretty solid performance from him, but our boy Chris Cy Young Sale was even better. He goes 6 2/3, 4 hits, 1 run. That was earned as well. No walks, 9 strikeouts for him, 2.38 ERA for him in the season now. And before I get into what happened with the game, during the game, it's just sad to see that this year we have Chris Sale now on the roster at the end of the year, and we're not going to be able to make it to the playoffs and have him start an actual game that matters for us. Last year, we got in. We barely got in. Everyone was hurt, but we were able to get in. But Chris Sale was not there. He got hurt at the end of the year. So, and then this year that he's actually present now in the final month of the season, we're not going to have him there, man. We're not going to have him there because we will not be qualifying for the playoffs. So it's just crazy to see, man. Hopefully next year we're actually finally able to see him get a playoff start for the Braves. Hopefully next year is the year that we see that happen. Remember, they got him specifically to face all these lefties that gave us trouble, especially with the Phillies, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, with the Dodgers, Freeman, Ohtani. He was acquired specifically to deal with these guys in the playoff series, and we have yet to see that. So that's the part that bothers me. Who knows if we're ever even going to see him have a playoff start for us, man. Who knows? But anyways, we're going to have to wait and see for that one because that is not going to happen in 2025. Going back to this first ball game of the series, in the bottom of the first, Braves, they get the bases loaded with no outs. Of course, they're only able to get 1 run with no outs. Again, bases loaded, no outs. They're only able to get 1 run across the plate, and that was via a sac fly by Ha-Seong Kim, newly acquired Ha-Seong Kim, our shortstop of the future. That made it 1-0 Braves. Top of the seventh, Mariners, they are able to score one and tie it up. That was with Dylan Lee on the mound after Chris Sale had left the ballgame. The bottom of the eighth, the Bats, they finally wake up. Jurickson Profar, he had a double. Olsen, he singles in Profar. That made it 2-1. Ozzie, he follows with a triple. That made it 3-1. And then Drizzy Drake Baldwin, he singles him in. That made it 4-1 Braves. And hey, Iglesias comes in the top of the ninth. He gets the save. He shuts the door. That's number 24 of the season for him. That's how the Braves win ball game number 1, 4-1. But that was it. Like I said, game 2 was a shellacking. Game 3, if game 2 was a shellacking, game 3 was you'll see when I get to it was crazy, bro. Game 3 was crazy. Game 2, though, Bryce Miller was on the mound for the Mariners. He goes 5 1/3, 5 hits, allowed 2 runs. Both of those earned 2 walks and 3 Ks. He now has a 5.53 ERA for the Braves. It was Hurston Waldrop. He wasn't bad at all. He kept us in the game. But once the bullpen came in, it was over. Waldrop, he goes 5 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs. Both of those earned 5 walks, 5 Ks. He now has a 1.33 ERA. Again, he didn't have his best stuff. You can see clearly with the 5 walks, but he was still able to limit the damage. And give the Braves and the offense a chance, but that's not what happened. Top of the first, Julio Rodriguez, he starts off the offense, the Mariners offense, with a 2-run homer. That made it 2-0 Seattle. Bottom of the fourth, Matt Olson, he homers. That's number 22 of the season for him. That makes it 2-1 Seattle. Bottom of the sixth, Braves, bases loaded with 1 out this time. They can only score 1 again. That was via a Michael Harris sacrifice fly. That makes it 2-2. Ties up the ball game. But at the top of the seventh, Julio Rodriguez, he strikes again. If you had this guy in your fantasy team, you definitely could on Saturday. The rest of the weekend, actually. He had another 2-run homer. That was number 30 of the season for him. That made it 4-2 Seattle. Gino Suarez, Eugenio, he had another solo shot. That was number 43 of the season for him. Top of the eighth, Josh Naylor, he had a 3-run homer. That made it 9-2. And then big dumper, the cherry on top, Kyle Raleigh. He hits number 52 of the season for him. It was pretty much my boy Daysbell. Daysbell Hernandez, he got rocked. John Brevia, he got rocked. That is how it went down for game number 2 of the set on Saturday night. And then game 3 was an early bird special. It was a 12:05 p.m. start time. It was bad. It was bad, guys. It was an 18-2 victory for the Mariners. 18-2. You heard that correctly. Remember the previous episode, I had mentioned that this year we've seen one of the worst Braves losses in a minute. And you can add this one to the list. Again, Seattle wins this ball game 18-2. A total of 5 homers hit by Seattle, 20 hits total. It was Luis Castillo on the mound for the Mariners. He goes 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. That was earned. No walks for the guy, 6 strikeouts. He gets to win in this one. That's win number 9. He's now 9-8 with a 3.85 ERA. For the Braves on the mound, it was Joey Wentz. Bad start from him. He goes 2 1/3, 8 hits, 8 runs, 8. All those earned. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. He gets the L. He's now 5-6 with a 5.82 ERA. Dylan Dodd came in. He gave in 3. Rolly Munoz, he came in as well. I think he gave up 5 runs. And I think it was it John Brevia as well. John Brevia, I think he gave up another 2 or 3 runs as well. No, sorry, not John. It might have been John Brevia. Might have been. But I know Vidal Brujan came in. Also, he gave up some, the utility player for the Braves now. He's taking over that Luke Williams role, coming in when it's, garbage time. But anyways, can't expect much from him, obviously, because he is a utility player after all. But yeah, he gave up some runs. Kyle Raleigh, he had another one, number 53 of the season for him. He's now 1 homer away from tying Mickey Mantle for the most homers by a switch hitter in a season. So he's chasing Mickey Mantle. He's probably going to break that by at least a good 3-4 homers. I'm gonna guess. We'll see. Mariners, they scored 8 in one single inning. It was just a shellagging, guys. It was. We're not gonna talk about it too much. The only 2 runs for the Braves came via a Jurickson Profar homer and a Michael Harris sac fly. A lot of sacrifice flies for the Braves in this series compared to getting other timely hits. Most of the runs came by sac flies. Obviously, that's not going to cut it when you have the offense scoring 10 and 18 in back-to-back games. Braves gave up 28 runs in those 2 ball games. If you want to count the entire series, it was a 29-8 victory for the Mariners. That's how bad it was. The Braves gave up 29 runs throughout the entire series. And yeah, that's how the series went down. There's not much to talk about at this point. You kind of can't wait for the season to finally end and get this over with. We were joking last year how, man, things can't get any worse. 2025 definitely took the cake. Things got worse in 2025. And if you're saying that now this year, you got to be careful because you don't know how things are going to go down next year. In terms of news for the Braves, we had another waiver pickup. Alex Anthopoulos, my boy, been cooking when it comes down to the waiver department. He picked up Alexis Diaz, the reliever from the Dodgers. This is Edwin Diaz from the Mets, a closer from the Mets. This is his brother. Remember, he was with the Reds previously. So he picked them up via the waivers. He was actually activated today, so he's going to be on the roster. They also recalled Connor Seabold, and they optioned Rolly Munoz back down to AAA, and John Brebbia, he's been DFA'd. So those are the moves that I saw went down today. But yeah, that's all I got, man. That's all I got for Tomahawk Takes. That's really all we can talk about. That's how we wrap things up. But again, I mean, before I can go into the next segment, but yeah, Alex Anthopoulos, man, he's been cooking when it comes to the waiver wire. And he did say in one of those interviews, I'm not saying that word for word, obviously, but he pretty much was stating that the 2026 offseason was starting right now at the time that he was having that interview. I believe it was right after the trade deadline. It was right after the trade deadline went down. He pretty much said, all the moves that he'll start making for next season would start now. And I mean, we've seen evidence of that. He picks up Ha-Seong Kim. He picks up Alexis Diaz now. He's done a whole bunch of pickups via the waiver wire. He got what's his name? Jake Fraley off of waivers. Couple pitchers, not even a couple, a few more pitchers he's picked up off of waivers, and some of them have been released, as we saw Kyle Quantrill, Carlos Carrasco. But he's out there, man. He's putting some work in. He's trying to see what sticks and what doesn't stick. So I guess you got to give credit to Alex Anthopoulos and see what he continues to do. Starting from now on to the beginning of next season, we'll see what he does. But anyway, that is all I have for the Tomahawk Take segment. Now we're going to head into our next segment.
It's time for the MLB.
It's time for the MLB, where we take a look at the action from around the league. Let's get into it. We're going to start with this series right here. I'm actually looking at the wrong paper, guys. That's crazy. Looking at the wrong one. Here it is. The MLB. We're going to start off with the Washington Nationals at the Chicago Cubs. The Nationals lose game 1 on the road to the Cubs. It was an 11-5 victory for the Cubs. Nationals, though, they come back and win game 2, 2-1, and then they actually come back and win game number 3, and they win the series 2-1. Surprising victory for them against the pretty good ball club that you have in the Chicago Cubs. Anyways, let's go to the next series. The New York Mets at the Cincinnati Reds. This was a big series. I'll tell you guys to keep an eye on this one. The Reds right behind the Mets when it comes down to the wild card standings. The Mets are about to take game 1. Mark Vientos, he had a 2 RBI night, including a homer. That was number 16 of the season for him. The Mets win this one. They had a close call. Bottom of the ninth, the Reds are able to load up the bases with no outs against Edwin Diaz. But they cannot score a run. Looking like the Braves out there. Typical Braves 2025 move. The Reds, they follow them, and they cannot finish the job against Edwin Diaz. That's how the Mets win game number 1. But they are able to bounce back. The Reds do. They win game 2, 6-3. And then Hunter Green, he goes 7 innings with 12 strikeouts. Brandon Sproat, though, rookie for the Mets, making his debut. He had a no-no into the 6th inning. Very impressive. But Hunter Green is able to battle it out against him, and the Reds offense is able to score 3. They win this one 3-2, and they win the series 2-1. They make up a little bit of ground there when it comes to the wild card standings. Next, we go to the Chicago White Sox at the Detroit Tigers. The White Sox, they're able to take game 1, 7-5. Tarek Skubal and the Tigers, they shut out the White Sox in game number 2. He goes 7 innings with 2 hits allowed, 6 strikeouts, a 6-0 win for them. That's win number 13 of the season for Tarek Skubal. He's now 13-4 with a 2.10 ERA. But the White Sox are able to come back and win game number 3 of the series. They win the rubber matchup. They win this one 6-4, and they get out of town with a series W. Next, we go to the Milwaukee Brewers at the Pittsburgh Pirates. Quinn Priester, he picks up win number 12 of the season for him. He's now 12-2 with a 3.25 ERA. He goes 7 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts. 5-2 victory for the Milwaukee Brewers. Game 2, they got another stellar start, this time by Brandon Woodruff. He goes 6 innings, 2 hits, 8 strikeouts. Win number 6 of the season for him. The Brewers win this one 4-1. And in the final game, they bring out the Brooms. Another good start from another starter. Man, you got to be careful with that Brewers pitching when it comes in the time for the playoffs. The Miz, Jacob Mizorowski, he goes 7 innings with 8 Ks, just 1 run allowed, 3 hits. That's win number 89 of the season for the Brewers. They'll be chasing win number 90 starting tonight. They win this one, though, 10-2. They bring out the Brewers on the road in Pittsburgh against the Pirates. Next, we go to the Dodgers against the Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles win this one 2-1. Tight ball game. Bottom of the ninth, Samuel Basallo, the rookie for the Orioles, he has a walk-off homer. He wins it off of Tanner Scott. 2-1 victory for the Baltimore Orioles. Crazy game, though. Crazy game. In game number 2. Real crazy ball game in game number 2. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, he was 1 out away from pitching a no-hitter, pitching the no-no. Jackson Holiday, he hits a solo shot off of him. The O's, they proceed to score 3 more runs. They cap it off with a Emmanuel Rivera walk-off 2-run single. The Orioles walk it off against the Los Angeles Dodgers after being no-hit. 8 2/3 of an inning. Crazy finish. Crazy comeback by the Baltimore Orioles. But then in game 3, they were looking to sweep, but the Dodgers say, no, that's not going to happen. Ohtani was the one that says no. He had a leadoff homer to start the ball game. That was number 47 of the season for him. 2 innings later, he hits number 48 of the season. 2-homer game for him. Clayton Kershaw, he looked pretty good. 5 2/3 with 8 strikeouts. The Dodgers win the final game, but again, the Orioles are able to win this series. Another big series that we had, Toronto Blue Jays in the Bronx against the New York Yankees. Remember, Blue Jays continue to beat the Yankees up all season long. They've already won the season series, but the Yankees trying to make up some ground when it comes down to the AL East division standings. And listen, Blue Jays, they win game 1. They win this one 7-1. It was a 4-hit night by Vladdy Jr. solo shot. That was number 23 of the season for him. Kevin Gausman, he had 1 earned run over 8 innings. Terrific performance from him. Game 2, though, the Yankees, they win this one 3-1. Austin Wells, he had 2 sack flies in this ball game. That was the difference when it comes to game number 2. And then game number 3, Ben Rice, El Arroz, homer number 23 of the season for him. He hits a 3-run homer in the first. That was the difference in this ball game. Yankees win that one 4-3. They win a series against the Blue Jays. Clap it up, guys. Clap it up. They draw closer in the AL East standings. We're going to take a look at that shortly. Next, we go to the Philadelphia Phillies at the Miami Marlins. The Phillies win game number 1, 9-3. Brandon Marsh, Harrison Bader, they go back to back. We had some drama though with this Phillies fan, man. Phillies fan on Philly fan violence. That was pretty embarrassing, bro. That lady that was going crazy, that was embarrassing. You gotta let the kid have the ball. First of all, you didn't catch the ball cleanly. The ball drops in front of you, in the row in front of you. Homie comes like 8 rows away, 8 seats away, whatever it was. He comes running, the dad. He picks up the ball. You never had possession of the ball. Now, if you had possession of the ball and he snagged it from your hand, that's different. It didn't look like you had possession of the ball. That's fair game. If you don't catch the ball cleanly, it's fair game. It's anybody's ball game. That he runs over, he gets the ball, takes it back to his son, puts it in his son's glove. Crazy lady comes and starts tapping him and getting on his face. Eventually, the dad just gives her the ball back, and it was embarrassing, bro. If you're at that age, come on. At that age, you should not be acting like that at a ball game for a baseball. You should not be. Go to Dick's Sporting Goods and get a baseball. Especially if you don't catch it. Like, and you know what? Whoever that was, that guy, I'm assuming that's her husband, maybe. I don't know. I'm just gonna say husband. You had a chance to catch that ball cleanly, bro. If you would have caught that ball cleanly, all this thing would have been avoided. All of this would have been avoided. You dropped the ball. I think it bounced off his shoulder or something. I don't know. We got to watch the video again. But you had a chance to avoid all this. You dropped the ball. Homeboy comes and snags it. Your girl starts acting crazy, acting embarrassing, flipping fans off afterwards, too. There was another video, another angle. Dude, the whole thing was embarrassing, bro. That's bad. That's bad. If anybody could send her a bucket of balls, send it over to her. I'm glad the Marlins were able to send the kid some gifts. He was able to meet Harrison Bader too. That was dope, and he got a baseball bat. So good for him. Good for the kid. But yeah, bad for that lady. Bad for Karen, bro. She went viral, not in a good way. Pretty embarrassing for her. And Philly on Phillies fans violence, man. Shake my head, man. Shake my head, especially on the road. On the road too. That's crazy. But anyways, let's see what happened in game 2. It was Bryce Harper. He had a 2-run homer in this one. That's number 24 of the season for him. Phillies win that one 4-2. Marlins are able to bounce back and win game 3 to avoid the sweep. They win that one 5-4. Next, we had Cleveland at the Tampa Bay Rays. Cleveland's 5-run second inning helps them get the W in this one. They win that one 7-1. Game number 2. Excuse me, let me just get a little refreshment here. There it is. Game number 2. Steven Kwan with a big go-ahead infield single in the top of the ninth off of Pete Fairbanks. That's the ball game. That made it 3-2, and that was a ball game. Gardner's able to shut the door in the bottom of the ninth. And then game number 3 of the series, Cleveland, they bring out the Brewers on the road. Jose Ramirez, he has a big RBI triple. That makes it they gave them the lead 2-1. That's the way the ball game ended. But the highlight is this: with that RBI triple, he is now second all time on the Cleveland RBI list. He just passed Jim Thome. Big accomplishment from him. Congrats to Jose Ramirez. Very underrated player. I'm pretty sure you can agree with me on that one. Next, we go to the Minnesota Twins at the Kansas City Royals, Michael Garcia. He has a 2-run homer in the ballgame. That gives the Royals the win 2-1. And I'm sorry. Let's go back. I'm sorry. There was a game on Thursday by the Cleveland Guardians and the Tampa Bay Rays. I forgot about that. You probably didn't. The Rays won that one 4-2. So it was no sweep by the Guardians, but it was a 3. They won 3 games out of 4. So close to a sweep, but not exactly. Anyways, back to that Twins-Royals series. Like I just mentioned, the Royals, they win game 1. They win game 2 as well. They had a 5-run bottom of the first inning. That set the tone for the entire ball game. It was an 11-2 victory for them. And then game 3, to avoid the sweep, the Twins, they come out. They win that one 5-1. Next, we go to the Houston Astros at the Texas Rangers. Big series here. The Rangers, they're able to walk off game number 1 of the set, of the 3-game set. 4-3, a walk-off in the 12th inning. Texas was up 3-1 in the top of the 8th with Carlos Correa. He hits a game-tying 2-run homer, but then it's Dustin Harris with a walk-off double in the bottom of the 12th to give the Rangers the victory. Game 2, though, Astros were pissed, and you can see it in the score sheet. 11-0 victory for them. Christian Walker, Yordan Alvarez, they go yard in this one. Hunter Brown, he goes 6 scoreless innings, 4 hits, 8 strikeouts. Great performance from him. And then game number 3, the rubber matchup, the Rangers, they're able to take this one. They win that one 4-2, and they win the series. Next, we go to the San Francisco Giants at the St. Louis Cardinals. The Giants, they're able to take game 1, 8-2 victory for them. Rafi Devers, Willie Adames, they go back-to-back in the first inning. Number 31 for Devers, number 27 for Willie Adames. Jung-Hoo Lee, he also goes 4 for 5 in the ballgame. Again, 8-2 victory for the Giants in this one. They win the second one, 10. No, I'm looking at the wrong score, bro. Not 10. They lose the second game. It was a 3-2 victory for the St. Louis Cardinals. Jordan Walker, he delivers a 2-run walk-off hit. The Cardinals score a total of 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th. They're able to get the comeback walk-off victory. Then they win the final game of the set 4-3 to be able to win the series. Then we go to the San Diego Padres at the Colorado Rockies. Kyle Freeland and the rest of the gang, they shut out the Padres. 8 innings, 2 hits, 10 strikeouts for Kyle Freeland. That's win number 4 of the season for him. Win number 40 for the Rockies. 3-0 victory there. Next game, San Diego, they go off at Coors Field. 17 runs put up, 17-4 victory for them. And then the fun. Wait, I'm bugging out, bro. I'm bugging out. This thing is acting up. My score sheet is all over the place. Scratch that, guys. Scratch that. Game 2, it's still a Padres victory, but it was a 10-8 victory. 17-4 was the Athletics game, and I was actually watching that one. 10-8, the Pods, they scored 6 runs in the top of the second. They scored 4 on the top of the 5th. The Rockies, they tried to claw back, but it's not enough. 10-8 victory for the Padres. And then, here we go. 8-1 victory for the Padres in the rubber matchup. They win the series 2-1. Next, we have the Athletics at the Los Angeles Dodgers. It was a 10-4 victory for the Athletics. The Athletics scored 7 in the top of the 3rd. That was a ball game. This is the one that I was watching. Saturday's game, 17-4. Crazy ball game. They had a position player pitching. It was Scott Kingery, I believe. Yeah, Scott Kingery was pitching for the Angels at one point. He was getting rocked. It was bad. Really bad. The fans were booing out in Angels ballpark, whatever the heck it's called now. I can't even. Out in Anaheim, whatever it is. I can't think of the ballpark name, honestly. I really can't. I'm blanking out right now. But anyways, Angel Stadium, isn't it? It has to be Angel Stadium. Anyways, the Angels, they bounced back. They won the final game 4-3. And then the last series that we had, the Boston Red Sox at the Arizona Diamondbacks. Corbin Carroll, he hits homer number 30 of the season for him. He leads the Diamondbacks to a 10-5 victory over the Red Sox. they come back and win game number 2 as well. Blaze Alexander, though, and Ceddanne Rafaela, they both have some insane home run rivalries. If you have not watched them, make sure you go watch those two plays. Those two gentlemen, they went all out to rob some homers. The Diamondbacks are able to win this one 5-1, though. But then the Red Sox, they bounce back. They win the final game of the series to avoid the sweep on the road. They won that one 7-4. And that is how all the games went down over the weekend. Tonight, we have some new series starting. Per usual, we have 11 series starting tonight. You got the Kansas City Royals at the Cleveland Guardians for 4 games. Keep an eye on this one. 2 teams that are trying to stay within the hunt for that final American League wild card spot. You got another 4-game set. It's the Washington Nationals at the Miami Marlins. Another 4-game set. The New York Mets at the Philadelphia Phillies. Keep an eye on this one. We're going to look at where the Mets are in the standings. I think they're 7 games back at the moment. So again, 4-game set here. They swept them last time when the Phillies were at Citi Field. The Mets were able to sweep them. So we'll see how things turn out here at Citizens Bank Park. You got the Cubs at the Braves. We're going to take a look at that in our next segment. You got the Milwaukee Brewers at the Texas Rangers. Keep an eye on that one. 2 solid teams. Well, one insanely amazing team right now. And then you got the Rangers, 1 solid team. Brewers are way more than solid right now. Anyways, you got the Minnesota Twins at the LA Angels. Keep an eye on this one, though. Cincinnati Reds at the San Diego Padres. 2 teams that are right there in the National League wild card race. The Padres have the 2nd spot. The Reds are trying to get into a spot, so we'll see how that one goes. St. Louis Cardinals at the Seattle Mariners. 2 teams that are also in their respective races. They're still in it. Especially the Mariners. Mariners, I believe they have a spot secured as of right now. And the Cardinals are trying to get into one as well. Same thing with the Diamondbacks at the San Francisco Giants. They're both out of it right now, but they're still trying to fight and get a spot. Steal 1 spot in the wild card race. So keep an eye on this series. You got the Boston Red Sox at the Athletics. You got the Colorado Rockies at the Los Angeles Dodgers. And then you got 4 series that are starting on Tuesday. That's going to be the Pittsburgh Pirates at the Baltimore Orioles. Keep an eye on this one. This might be a American League Championship Series preview. Detroit Tigers at the New York Yankees. And keep an eye on this one as well, because this one might be American League Championship Series preview. The Houston Astros at the Toronto Blue Jays. 2 teams atop their divisions. And then the final series is going to be the Tampa Bay Rays at the Chicago White Sox. So let's take a look at the standings real quick. I got to get this cough fixed, man. This cough is out of control. It really is out of control. Next, let's do the standings. I'm waiting for this to load real quick. We're going to start out with the American League. Let's go to the American League East. Toronto Blue Jays, they're in first place, 82-61. The Yankees now 2 games back after winning that series in the Bronx. They're 80-63. Boston Red Sox 3.5 back, 79-65. The Rays 71-72. The Orioles 66-77. AL Central, Detroit 82-62. They have an 8.5 game lead on the Kansas City Royals. Everyone else is behind. Houston Astros, they lead the American League West 78-66, 2.5 game lead over the Seattle Mariners, who are 75-68. Texas Rangers 74-70, they're 4 games back. The Angels 67-76, Athletics 66-78. Next, we go to the National League East 83-60 are your Philadelphia Phillies. They're in first. 76-67, 7 games back are the Mets. Marlins 66-77, Braves 64-79, Nationals 58-84. National League Central, Milwaukee Brewers 89-55. They won 3 in a row. 81-62 are the Chicago Cubs. They're 7.5 games back. You got the Reds, Cardinals, and the Pirates down at the bottom. The National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers 79-64. They're in first place just by 1 game. The Padres are right behind them. San Francisco Giants 72-71, 7 games back. D-backs 72 and 72, right at 500, 7.5 games back. And then you got the Colorado Rockies, who just got win number 40 over the weekend, 40 and 103. Let's go to the wild card. American League playoff picture looks as follows. You got the Blue Jays, Tigers, Astros winning divisions. Yankees, you got the top spot in the wild card. Boston, second spot. Seattle, they have the final spot, but the Rangers right behind them, 1.5 games back. Royals, 2 games back. Cleveland, 2.5. Tampa Bay, 4. Angels, 8. I'm going to start cutting y'all off soon. Bro. Let's go to the National League. National League is looking like Brewers, Phillies, Dodgers winning divisions. The Cubs, they got the number 1 spot in the wild card. Padres, second spot in the wild card. And the Mets, they have the final spot. They have a nice 4-game lead on the Reds and the Giants. And they have a 4.5 game lead on the Diamondbacks and St. Louis Cardinals. So there's pretty much 4 teams in the hunt in the National League wild card. And you got 4 teams as well. We can't really count the Angels in the American League. So these are the teams that are in the hunt. You got the Rangers, Royals, Guardians, Rays in the hunt for the American League wild card. You got the Reds, Giants, Diamondbacks, and Cardinals in the hunt for the National League wild card. So that is how things are looking. And like I said, things are going to get interesting because we got a lot of these teams facing each other. It's going to get good, man. It's going to get good. We have 3 more weekends of baseball left. And apparently I just saw something here, which is kind of crazy, bro. Breaking news. Sean Murphy, he's out for the season. A right hip labral tear. Sandy Leon is backing him up. He's been called up. The team also recalled Dane Dunning to the Braves. They optioned left-hander Hayden Harris to AAA Gwinnett. So that's just in. That is just in. Sean Murphy, again, he is out for the rest of the season. Honestly, I think I'm done with the Sean Murphy era, bro. Give Drake Baldwin the starting spot at catcher. Get a nice veteran, a cheap veteran backup option for next year. See if you can trade Sean Murphy. Eat up some of the contract. Get a little something in return. Maybe a veteran reliever arm, something like that. And let's just move on from Sean Murphy, bro. The guy's hitting 200. He has some pop. I know he's great behind the plate. But I'm done with the Sean Murphy era, bro. Give me Drake Baldwin starting. Get a cheap veteran option just to back him up next season. Play a game or 2 a week, or probably just a game. Let my boy play. Trade Sean Murphy. Get something back in return. If you got to eat some of the contract, It is what it is. Get something back. And then get a DH. Give me Pete Alonso, bro. And let's get things rocking next year. That's how we're going to end the MLB. We got a little bit of Braves news there at the end just because I happened to look at my phone after doing the standings. But anyways, let me know how your team is looking right now. Are you confident that your team is going to get into the playoffs? How's your team looking right now? Are you guys 4 games back like the Giants? 4.5 games back? Are you 2 games back? 1 game back? Like the Rangers, 1.5? Let me know how your team is doing. Or are you guys already in? Are you like the Brewers, 89 and whatever it is? You guys are already in. Are you like the Brewers? Let me know how your team is doing in the comments, and we can keep having some baseball conversations here on the Chop Seat. But now let's head into our next and final segment after this song is done. Here we go.
It's time for your Braves forecast.
It's time for the Braves forecast. We take a look at the upcoming Braves series. That's going to be a series starting tonight at 7:15 p.m. Eastern time. The Cubs are in town Remember, we faced the Cubs last week on the road at Wrigley Field. Braves only got one win out of that series. Cubs are coming into town 81-62. They'll be facing the Braves who are 64-79. These are the probable starters for the series. Shota Imanaga, he's 9-6 with a 3.15 ERA. He's going up against Bryce Jekyll and Hyde Elder. He's been good. The last 4 starts, he's been good. He's 6-9 with a 5.54 ERA. Like I said last episode, maybe he's found something that we don't know about. Maybe he's found something. Game 2 is going to be the rookie, Cade Horton, 9-4 with a 2.78 ERA. I would like to see, I would love to see Drake Baldwin get some more rips up against this guy and hopefully have a homer off of him to give him a good spot, put him in a good spot for the Rookie of the Year race. He's going up against Spencer Strider, who's 5-12 with a 4.97 ERA. And then game 3 is going to be TBD for the Cubs. Very good, solid arm. He's going up against Chris Sale, who's 5-4 with a 2.38 ERA. The Braves are going to be off on Thursday. They got the Astros coming in to town for the weekend. So that's how the Braves forecast is looking. And I just forgot to mention something too. Excuse me. I forgot to mention in Tomahawk Takes, and this is terrible that I forgot. This was big. We had Ronald Acuna Jr. batting 6th on Saturday, and they put him to bat 7th on Sunday. So, what are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that? We've seen plenty of other guys struggle, and they've stayed in their spot. So I wonder why Brian Snitker was quick to move him down. And I'm talking, when I say down, he moved them way down in the lineup. It wasn't like he moved them down a spot or two. This dude moved them literally to the back of the bus, bro. Like, Snicker, what happened, bro? It has to be something else. I don't think he likes him as much, honestly. I don't think he likes Acuna as much. There got to be something there. But yeah, anyways, let me know what you guys think of Acuna batting 6th and then 7th over the weekend. That was weird to see. But again, these games don't matter, so I guess it's fine. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, it was weird. It was weird to see. And Ozuna was batting 8th. He was batting 8th in the final game of the series on Sunday. So you had Acuna batting 7th and Ozuna batting 8th. Really, really weird to see them batting so low in the lineup. I'm about to have a cough attack here again. So let me just start saying, ending off this episode. I'm going to have a cough attack. We're going to have a episode probably Friday to preview the series with the Braves and Astros. The Braves are off Thursday, so it probably will be Friday. I just can't wait for the season to finish. That's where I'm at right now. Just counting down the days. Season could finish, and we could get some playoff baseball. And just have it finish. Just finish. I want to start 2026 already. I want to sim to 2026. That's the bad thing about this. You cannot sim till the next season. You gotta wait, and keep getting beat up by your opponents before you get to 2026. Anyways, I'm Vic. I'm your host. Thank you guys for continuing to tune into the show, supporting. Be sure you follow on all platforms. YouTube at the Chop Seat, X, TikTok, Facebook at the Chop Seat. On Instagram is the Chop Seat Pod. Make sure you follow and share the page or the pages to anyone that you know that loves baseball. So thank you guys for tuning in, and we're going to see you next time on the Chop Seat.